Hello, world. Those that have ears, let them hear. Family, we have to understand that humans, we are both spiritual and physical. But we have to understand the depths of what that looks like and what that means and how to navigate that. Because we understand that these are the two deities or entities that war one with another, right? In other words, there has to be balance. We have to address the one as well as the other, right? But they have to be in a place where the two can agree, where one is not in a higher elevation, than the other. If the flesh side is higher, bad things happen. If the spiritual side is higher, the things that you desire fleshly so because you cannot get away from it, right? I need to say that again. If the spiritual is higher, the things that the flesh will always continue to desire are not being met, right? Which means disaster will still occur because of being over spiritualized. So the biggest downfall when it comes to spiritual warfare, man, is not having balance between the flesh and the spirit, right? The Bible tells us that the flesh wants after the things of the flesh and the spirit after the things of the spirit, right? But if there's no balance, right? Now, if the flesh is leveling up, right? And you're more fleshly than you are spiritual, chaos, destruction occurs in your life, right? If you become over spiritualized, it's almost like it's bittersweet from this angle, because what happens is the flesh is not getting the things that it desires, right? This is how this thing works, family. So we have to understand in life, man, the flesh has desires. Food, the flesh speaks to you. Your mind, your stomach, it speaks to you. It tells you when you're hungry. You need shelter, right? When you're cold, when you're hot. When you're cold, you desire to have heat, right? When you're hot, you desire to cool off. This is the flesh speaking to you, right? When you're hormonal, when you're feeling sexual, right? Your flesh desires sexual intimacy. These things we have to learn. Family, we got to get to a place where we have to accept this. We have to accept both sides. See, oftentimes in life, you get people that are overly spiritual, and if you know this, these people fail at life, especially at relationships, right? When you get people in life that are overly fleshly, overly carnal, these people fail at life. Chaos and destruction can come from the both, not coming together, not reasoning together, right? Not having a mutual understanding, a mutual agreement, a balanced a lifestyle where warfare is balanced, family. Warfare has to be balanced, right? It has to be balanced. And God made a complete design for these things to be balanced between a man and a woman. And unfortunately, these days, I hate to say it, people are wholeheartedly accepting a life of sin to have these things, but it's outside of God's design. And what I mean by that is same-sex marriages. This is unnatural, right? And just to be candid about it, family, two penises don't go together. Two vaginas don't go together. Take that up with God, right? This is, in fact, let's not even take it to God's level. Let's take it to human anatomy, right? From a scientific, from what's the word I'm looking for? A biological sense, right? You can't procreate with two penises. You cannot procreate with two vaginas. I have to be candid and authentic, man. And this is the journey that I'm on, man. I have the vein and the calling that I'm living in is a life coach, man. With a mixture of the two. And what you're going to start to see on future posts, you're going to start to see me use these two angles, right, to express, man, because we got to get to a point, family, where we have to be authentic and candid with what we are and how we approach life, how we navigate life, family. These are the facts, man. In relationships, there are fleshly and spiritual desires that have to come together to have balance. And oftentimes, things are being expressed from one of the two angles, but there's never this balance that's expressed, right? You get a fleshly person, all they care about is meeting the desires of the flesh. You get a spiritual person that is overly spiritual, they try to pretend and be more than what they are. Let me say that again. They try to pretend to be more than what they are. And I just said what we are, what we all are. We are all spiritual beings having a earthly, human, fleshly experience, which, like I said, to make it plain, we are both physical, fleshly, and we are both and spiritual, all at the same time. Family, I'm going to end on that note, man. Hebrews 12:14. Make every effort to live in peace with everyone and to be holy. Without holiness, no one will see the God in you, which is in your human, fleshly, carnal vessel, right? Colossians 3:2. Always remember, family, the first things first. Set your affection on things above, not on the things of this earth, right? All those things shall come afterwards. And last but not least, but most importantly, Philippians 2:5. Let this mind, right? The mind is the regulator of all things. When you grow the mind, it regulates everything in life, right? Let this mind be in you that was also in Christ Jesus. Family, stay blessed.